Good afternoon, everyone. I am Leah Love back for another live. I've learned to stop saying brief because I don't think it's going to be brief, but I'm hoping it will be. So I am here actually packing to get ready to visit the Biltmore for the rest of this week because my husband has a medical conference that he is going to. But fortunately, we will be able to visit the Biltmore, I think on Thursday evening. And hi, Carrie. Is it Carrie-Ann? I don't want to mispronounce it. But we hope to visit the Biltmore. Not hope to, we actually have tickets and visit and see their Christmas decor. But we've been discussing something in our in my marriage group, and a dear sister in the group had a lot of questions about a meme that I posted, which stated that, the idea of seducing, the home is a space where you seduce your husband. Karen, is that still right? I'm so bad. It's Karen. Okay. That's very pretty, by the way. And so we were talking about it, and yes.
So sorry to bother. But do you think instead I could use my Sonic card tomorrow on the road trip, like once we're heading out?
Yes.
So I can have something to eat instead of going out?
Yes. And so, hi Lisa, thank you. So, the question is, here it's sticking up right now, but the question is, how do you handle seduction in the home? And is it done from the perspective of wanting to hold on to your man from a sense of lack? And the way in which I take the idea of seduction in the home and in your living environment, it's not so much about doing it from a sense of lack or scarcity and hoping to hold on to your man, so to speak, in fear that if you don't, he's going to go somewhere else and, engaging with other women. For me, as everything in my life, seduction is first and foremost about me. Hi Tasha, and in fact I was going to speak about Tasha. She gave a fire live on today, and I shared it onto my page and I shared it into my group. Definitely check out Tasha T. Young's video that she did today, because it is absolutely scrumptious in regards to level up, and you absolutely do not want to miss this sis, because she is fire. I mean, it was amazing. And so I just wanted to share with you all that for me, seduction is always first and foremost about me. It's not, other people around me are simply byproducts. And that may sound crazy. Hi, Lisa. It may sound crazy to you if you are centered in a space, in a way in which you are always living outside of yourself rather than enjoying the internal experience of being you. Absolutely, sis. Yes. And, Tasha, she had mentioned that, and I mentioned that in her live, that, women who have a high level of self-value, they are cooperative and they are not competitive. We enjoy being in each other's spaces. And that's similar to what I'm talking about in terms of seduction, because you have learned to enjoy the process of being you so much that it is such an enjoyable experience being a confident and relaxed and very sensual woman. And it's very different than sexuality. And so imagine a stay-at-home wife and mother as myself, with children in the home that I do homeschool, speaking about sensuality and a sensuous home. That seems like an oxymoron, but it's really a matter of how do you experience each and everything that you do in your day. Are you going to go about it intentionally? Are you going to go about it with the sense that I am going to gain something from this event? I am going to gain something that builds me up, that nourishes me, that refreshes me from every little thing that I do. Not to say that you're going to be walking around every day remembering every single thing that you do with purpose, because I never do. But there are certain things, whether it's your rituals and your day-to-day experiences, that you say, okay, in the morning, I'm going to light my little tea candle, and I'm going to set the diffusers throughout the house. I do that very early in the morning when I wake up, before everyone is up. And when I'm preparing my husband's tea, I set the diffusers in like 4 different spaces around our house so that it can begin diffusing, you know, cucumber melon, or if I'm in the mood for some sweet orange, gardenia. And so that's already brewing and percolating, so to speak, in the home. So that when I take the tea up to him and I take my coffee up into our office and he's doing his stuff, I do my stuff. We have 2 different desks. And this is like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning when we wake up together. Although I do admit he wakes up earlier than me. So we enjoy that as a ritual. Even just the art of taking him his tea and taking it, not just like, oh shit, I need to just make his tea, let me just drop this on his desk. No, I make the tea. I have this special, hold on a second. I have this special, oh, it's in the wash. I have this special teapot that's like an infuser, and I put the tea bags in there and I let it fuse, and then I take his special cup, because he has his special mug that says Dr. Schleter on it and all of that, and it's meaningful to him. And I take it with a little top and I bring all of that up and I set it on his desk, and he loves this tea. And he had mentioned that he likes it, and I bought it, it ran out, but I make sure that I keep his tea that he likes. That's a special time for him. Early morning is a special time for him. And he always said he wanted to have us both be up around the same time to just experience a quiet home, quiet life. Then we, he does his morning work, and then he'll come down for breakfast. I'll come back down after I've done a little bit of writing and other things, come back down. By the time I come back down, the home is smelling lovely and fresh. With my diffusers going on, I probably have already lit a candle. And then I start breakfast, and then we sit down and we discuss. He has this book, hold on. That he keeps here by our kitchen table. We have dinner always in the formal dining room. But then, while he's eating, we discuss a couple's devotional and couple it with the Bible. And hi, Janae. So we do that when we have time in the mornings. And but what I wanted to say about seductiveness, it's not necessarily about you trying to be Miss Super Sexy, Miss Siren. It's about, how do you embody yourself as a feminine being? How do you appreciate all aspects of yourself and highlight that and enjoy it for yourself? And just by you enjoying the way in which you go through your day with calm and with ease, and finding the specialness in everything that you do, how does that affect a man who is a healthy masculine man? So if he is busy with, many employees throughout the day, he's, just doing masculine stuff, he doesn't want to come home to a masculine, stressed out woman. He wants to come home to a woman who's been at ease, because that's his pride, to be able to have a woman at home and at ease. He's not a 50-50 dude. That is his pride, to be able to say, my wife is at home. She's homeschooling the children and she's making my meals. When I pack his lunch for the day, he likes to take his lunch for the most part, unless there's board meeting lunches, things like that. He has his own handy dandy little lunch box that he takes that's always filled with snacks. But there's times I always include home cooked meals in his lunch box. And then I'll leave, every once in a while, I'll leave cute little notes inside there for him to find. To me, that's the art of seduction. And then he will text me about how much he really enjoyed the meal. Sometimes I'll make him something very different for him to eat on the way to work, like a burrito that has, all his favorite things. And he will text me, oh my God, I love that burrito. Like, that was so creative. I hadn't had it like that. I made him fried rice for breakfast one morning. Most mornings I try not to look busted and dusty. I try to put myself together. But my next level is even being aware of the way in which I walk. And it's for me. because I really want to experience a very feminine way of walking. And I know I can walk very fast sometimes, but then we watch, characters like Jessica Rabbit or someone like that. There's no reason technically for you to be walking through your house sashaying in some pink slippers. But to me, I say, why not? To me, that is a level of enjoying your feminine sway, giving your womb space, and movement and rhythm. And how do you walk around your house? Are you clumping around like, the Jolly Green Giant? Or are you taking your time and, you are focused on how you are experiencing your life? And I think for me, what's most powerful is that, do you have pants?
Yes, I do.
Is what's most powerful is that when we pass, you're going to be with yourself and your version of the creator. There will be no one else there with you. And you have to ask yourself, how did I experience my day-to-day moments? Did I sashay through life and take moments and purposefully, set the table with doilies? And did I take time to have a little tea with myself, to sit down with myself and meditate? Did I take time to, thank you, I appreciate that. Did I take time to really live through my life, to embrace my life and to experience my life? Or did I rush through it and then set times for femininity and set times for experiencing myself? And so for me, I'm constantly challenging myself to live every second of my life as much as possible. I'm human, but am I really experiencing the life that I want? Am I really experiencing it, and not just mouth, not just talking it, but am I really and truly experiencing it and walking through it with joy and with pleasure? Because I have a feeling that from what I've experienced, when I walk through my life with joy and pleasure, it enhances my feminine levels. And again, it's never been about anybody else. And I've always said, hi sis, thank you for joining. I don't have my glasses on either, but I've always said, even in my dating with purpose, I've always said that even my dates, for me personally, it was about me. It was about me. Like, I enjoyed, going on dates and enjoyed the experience of being me. And I enjoyed the experience of other people experiencing me. So it's extra. But I had to get to that point knowing where I came from. And if I did not maintain high standards for myself, I certainly could not command high value experiences from other people. I had to vibrate on those levels. And so it was a stage, which I often say, that it was all about me. I was very self-centered, which means that I was centered in self. I wasn't selfish, but perhaps pick-me's would consider that being selfish, because to them, anything that is about promoting your well-being was being selfish. Whereas I saw that promoting my well-being blessed the entire world. And what that means is that whatever I can give and gift to the world by me being fabulous, that only helps the world, because you never know who you will come in contact with, who will be blessed by your fabulousness. Just as there are days, I posted a couple of days ago where I really was not feeling fabulous, but I purposefully went out and found, images and photos of very fabulous women in jets and stuff. And I had to thank them, internally for representing their fabulousness, because I could pull from that on the days when I wasn't feeling that. But if they did not put their fabulousness out in the world, I wouldn't have that to pull from. So you never know when you are being your extra fabulous self that you are being an inspiration to others. That's how I saw it. So that's why I never saw it as being selfish in terms of my being extra, honey. So the thing is that we all have our challenges. I have my challenges. I'm working through them, but I tend to always balance it out with self-care, with acknowledging when I need help, acknowledging when I need to clean some shit up, and, working to encourage myself. So that's why, like, this weekend, I recommitted to my workout regime. And I worked out 3 times yesterday. And then last night, after I got back from the gym, the 3rd time was with my girls, and we did 350 jumping jacks in 50 intervals. And I haven't yet worked out today, but I will work out today. I didn't go to the gym. We've got to head to ballet class. But my next thing is watching how I walk. Like, I'm always got little projects. So now, how can I sensuously walk through my house like a belly dancer? And you may think that that's ridiculous. It might be, but it's this sense of enjoyment. And I think that one of the things that when we ask ourselves at the outset of our level up journey, what is femininity? What does it mean to be feminine? Yes, it's an innate quality that we all have, and that is unfortunately educated out of a lot of us, and then we've got to come back and regroup. But the essence of femininity is time. It takes us 9+ months to create another being in our body. Time is of the essence. Time is not our enemy, but if we set ourselves up so that, time is not our friend, well, that's something else. But the one thing that I did specify and clarify when I was to get married was that I was not going to work, because I understood what it was required for me to maintain the energy that he met me in. And even though I was working, but I was putting double time energy, that despite my working in a very somewhat masculine, very high intense sales position, but I understood that I had to turn that off when it was time to date. And I had a whole hour and a half, 2-hour ritual before each date. And again, this is even when I was dating 5 to more times a week. I wasn't taking myself off the market. I was very clear about the vetting process, and I wasn't playing. So that was my second job. And so I made sure that I got myself into the mode of being innately feminine, and embracing that and enjoying that, and being so full and high on myself by the time I arrived to the date that it truly was an experience. But then I did not want to lose that upon marriage. And I'm constantly saying, it's not only about getting that goal of marriage and walking yourself, or him walking you down the aisle, but what happens afterwards? Are you able to maintain the energy and the space in which he met you? And like it or not, a lot of men will say that, 5-6 years down the road, my wife just isn't the same. Yes, she's working, most likely, birthing children, doing all of this 50-50 stuff. Of course, she's not the same. That's why women have to have a level of self-value and self-worth, and knowing exactly what they want, and not, living from a sense of scarcity that I'm not worthy enough to ask for what I want. And so if you have determined that in order to be the feminine woman and the feminine goddess that you want to be, whatever that means for you, then you have to have the courage at the outset to say, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to have. You either agree or you don't agree. We are either on the same page or we're not. If we're not on the same page, it's totally cool. But the fact that I set that at the outset, and I said it, and I'm not budging from it, and I have my standards, and you're not getting the cookies until I get what I want, which is commitment, and I've vetted you properly, then that's when we move to the next level. And that's when you also know that you're not going to just do all of this extra work on yourself and this inner healing and this space where, you just really feel at your pinnacle. Then you get married and then you fall off. Now you've gained 50 pounds, you're exhausted, you're working just like him, and you're fighting and carrying on. And that's not what we're doing here. That's not what I'm doing. And so I stopped working before we got married, actually, and I was very clear. It was really getting stressful doing that, plus planning the wedding, and I was good. And when you are operating from a space of non-negotiables, but within your feminine energy, a man will certainly do what you need in order to, maintain the relationships, because he understands the value of what you need. You're not a frivolous person. Are you getting snacks? You're not a frivolous person. I hear all this crackling and stuff in the background. She's getting snacks out of the pantry. And so you are asking for things that are going to benefit you, but it's also by benefiting you, it benefits him because you are a better woman. How deep in the courting process? Well, to me, I always say, sis, that, I said very early, but of course I was on a site that was marriage based. But I said very early, I'm good. My life is great. I feel wonderful. I'm so ready for the next level of my life. And so looking forward to marriage. So looking forward to just building a strong family. And I'm just super excited. And that was at the outset. Did I say you're the one, dude, or you're the one? No. I said, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm excited about. And then immediately when I begin to speak about my passions and my journey from a very positive, I don't keep dredging up negative about this jerk of an ex-husband of mine and my childhood. No, it's always with through the vision of resolution. I learned a great many things from it. It was very challenging, but hey, I'm good. And, I definitely plan to utilize the lessons that I learned in my future marriage, and I'm so excited. And it makes this person who is a candidate, a willing candidate, be like, oh, snap, she keeps talking about this great future and this great life. I need to be about that. How can I get in here? How can I, see what I need to do in order to see if she would consider me as a candidate? Because I've already set the stage. I've already talked about the things that are so exciting, like, building family wealth and getting the children involved and, being very family oriented and building an environment that allows our children to flourish. Because at my age, most likely he would also have children. So I'm already setting the stage and building this beautiful thing, which isn't fake. It's not false. It's not game. It's what I'm about. And I'm setting the stage so you already know what I'm about and whether or not you fit the bill. And are you going to be able to step into my stage and see, is this something that you are down with and that you want to build and grow? And so I'm already talking about, I just read this book on family wealth. I'm so excited because my daughters already want little businesses, and I'm just so excited. And I keep learning about investing and all of this, and I'm just super excited. And I'm just building this whole world, but talking very conversationally. And he's just sitting like, okay. I had one man I completely scared away, never heard from him again, which I loved. And then of course my husband was like, oh my God, like this is exactly, I couldn't articulate it like that, but this is what I'm talking about. This is what I want. And so in doing that and having already set the stage, then I walk it through. I walk you into, in order for me to properly do all of this, of course, I would need to be a stay-at-home wife and mom because I really want to focus on family. I want to focus on my husband. I want to focus on all these goals that I've just been speaking about that I'm so excited about. I mean, it's really important in this day and age with social media and all of these negative influences that a quality mother, be present for her children and really assist her husband in building that family legacy and building that family name. It can't be done part-time. It can't be done 2 hours a week. It has to be it has to be full time. And that's exactly what I want. Because if I've got to work while being married and doing all of that, I've already been there and done that, and I've seen the results, and it's not going to get me the results that I want in my life. And so am I asking him to do that? No, I'm still talking about what's going to work for me and what I'm already calling into my life. I'm not asking life. I'm telling life, this is what I'm about. This is what I'm doing. Exactly. They do not get to experience that range of emotions, which is why we should set that stage. Child, that's what I'm talking about. being feminine is not about being a doormat or being ridiculous. It is about you sitting on your throne and very calmly. I was never anxious and arguing or demanding and pointing fingers. I wasn't asking for presents and gifts and all of that. He brought them on his own because he realized, because I was so invested in my life and the life that I had created for myself before it even took place. I was so invested in doing that I was able to impart the value that I bring to a relationship. And he never ever asked me, well, what do you bring? Like the Niglets of the world. Where are my glasses? Tiki, what time is it? Hold on. Okay, we got time. I never, imposed anything, but I believe in complete transparency. I am not here to trick anybody, to fool somebody, to just go through all this drama. I'm not doing it. I don't have time for it. And I also was not going to set myself up, as Tasha talked about in her previous live, you set yourself up with all this fake fantasy stuff and this fake appearance and this fake persona. You got to back that up and live that for the rest of your life. And if that's not really who you are, it's extremely exhausting. It's extremely exhausting. So for me, that's why I did the work as much as I could on myself and continued to do the work during the courtship phase, during my dating with purpose, because I realized that this is my life and I've already been miserable for so many years. If you follow me and you see my past couple of posts, I showed you my ridiculous, struggle life journey. I'm not going back, but I'm also not going to marry somebody just because they have this or that, and get myself into a space where now I'm miserable because I can't stand the guy and he doesn't respect me. No, I wanted to build a life around principles and values that would make me a darling dear to this person for years to come. Hi, Tiki. And so Tiki got her hair done. Let's show them the hair. Oh!
It's so pretty. It's got gold.
Tiki got her hair done. She loves when she gets her hair done. So, anywho, and so that's why for me, it was really critical that I be as authentic as I could. And yes, I've had to ramp down some things. Yes, I've had to still learn more things post-marriage in terms of not just being so extra, like we discussed in Tasha's video, and I've discussed it before, like I was put on a budget and that initially didn't go over so well, but I saw the purpose of it. I certainly have maintained, despite all the pressure out here, despite the visuals on social media that, oh, since you say you married this and that person, you're supposed to be balling. You're supposed to have, Gucci all day long and Dior and all of this stuff. And I've withstood that pressure because I will be in my workout outfit all day, honey, because my workout goals are what they are. That's how I lost the weight that I lost. It is what it is because it's about building for the future. And like I said, during that time period, which I didn't know because he handles the bills, because I don't want to. I'd like him to have that stress and not me. But at that time when I was being budgeted, he was paying off all my credit cards. Now my score has jumped 100 points. I've never had this score ever in my life when I was struggling and hoofing it and 50-50ing. But a man who will pay off your debt before he pays off his debt and give you the highest score ever in your life, that's a man who values you because you've already presented that value just in the way in which you live on a day-to-day basis with him, and the things that you implement in terms of setting the stage at the outset. That's why I say women, do not hide that you want to be married. Do not hide that you have these high goals for yourself. But in doing so, you present it in such a passionate way that speaks to your participation and your development of these things. And when you do that, a man who is a quality man and a high value man will understand, if I do not jump on this opportunity on today, who knows? Because you do not see that in the dating world. You do not see women of purpose and of value and who are not looking for a man just because he has money, but are definitely about their wealth. but understand the path that it takes to get there. And those type of men will have no qualms about you not working from home. But you definitely got to state it. You got to say it for what it is, say it for what you want. You're not, lassoing him and forcing him to do something. He needs to be able to value that himself. And so it's for him to say, you know what, I absolutely agree with you, but not only in words, but then in future conversations and future actions. To me, that's a part of seduction. I'm not following these typical online stories and books. Oh, you gotta have this outfit on and you've got to do this. I think seduction is from a very internal point of view. It's from a woman who is fully embodying her womanness. And if you fully embody your womanness, you will be quite aware of the things that you need to have in place to support and protect your womanness. And so being unbothered, being unrushed about your day. Not to say that there are not busy days. I don't want to give that false impression. But certainly being in a space where you are protecting what's important to you, because you know that that's very valuable, because it supports the entire family. So even the way that in which you walk across the room, these are things that you can practice and enjoy. Even married, it's not about, okay, I'm on the dating scene, I'm just trying to see who sees me, let me walk across this restaurant in the most seductive way I can. No, it's not about that. It's not only that, but what happens after you get married. And so I say, even in my group, the things that you practice and learn about in your dating with purpose phase are the things that you must continue to use in your marriage, because it should become a part of your lifestyle, because you know how it benefits you, how it nourishes you. So whether you're wearing beautiful undergarments, under your workout outfit, whether you're wearing beautiful undergarments in a regular dress that you're just wearing around the house, or whether you go out or not, it doesn't matter, but it's your intention for how do you want to live your life and experience you from a very internal point of view. Making sure that from time to time, you take baths together, bubble baths, or, do you keep certain oils and that you can use to rub each other, or, do you have special little things that you can do, like, place when, I know my husband, like on Mondays is his patient care days, and he does it at one of the offices that's like an hour away. And so he often doesn't get back until like almost 7 on Mondays, and it's very draining because he has to actually be present. Yes.
When are we gonna go?
And soon, Tiki. He has to be actually present for the patients and not just rush them through like they're cattle. And so even on those days, having a cloth with some, peppermint or lavender oils when, he's relaxing, and then just lay it over his face. These are all what I call seduction. It's all a part of, the senses, your scent, the visuals. Do you look appealing for yourself first and foremost? I notice any day that I get into a rut of just heavy homeschooling, things around the house, I may not make myself up. I might not put on my lashes. And after 2 or 3 days of that, I begin to feel differently. I don't feel as scrumptious and luscious as the days where I purposefully, even at 5 a.m. in the morning, make myself up and, put on my lashes at least, and do my eyebrows, lashes, little lip gloss, and put on one of my dresses, cute little, dresses for around. I'm not talking about a cocktail dress, clearly. But even if it's like it's warm, even if it's winter, but honey, I will throw on a summer dress in a minute in the house because the heat is on. Or a strapless little sundress, honey, and I will just be in this house. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, because it's not the act itself, it's the way in which the act makes you feel. And if you feel good about yourself, if you're smelling good, if you make sure you put on your favorite scent, even though there's nobody in the house but you and the kids after he goes to work, but how does that make you feel when you wave your arm around and you smell something? It's the little moments. It's the little memories of, oh, that smells good. Or you walk by the mirror and your hair is done and you're looking good. You love your lashes. Your eyes look different. These are all things that you can do for yourself to enhance and build your sensual levels within yourself. and please your senses. And if you are pleasing your senses, well, of course, you're going to be pleasing a gentleman who is in your environment. And if you are pleasing your senses, that is seduction. Flowers are seductive. They're beautiful. Keeping crystals and, glass vases and tea light candles, on the dinner table. All of that's seductive. I have my daughter build our dining table every night, but I'll show you all because I don't have to do this, but I wanted to specifically switch from this table in the morning, and we like to look out over the out into the yard and whatnot, but at dinner I make sure that I keep candles. Let me show you. So we have to go out to ballet, but I've got several little tea light holders. I've got fresh flowers. I've got the lace on the table. And, this is how, the table will look. And for tonight's dinner, when we all convene around 7, or by the time we get back, he's got to pick up the daughter from voice lessons. And then so her class is from 6 to 7. So by the time we get back, it'll be dark. This candle is getting a little low, but I've got to replace them. I put little tea lights in all of these, and we will light all of these, and it's the lace, and it's just dinner. I've got the nicer napkins and whatnot, but my little 7-year-old is learning to set the table, so we're working on it. Don't judge. But these are all sensual moments when, he comes home and it's been a very long day. Am I just throwing on a microwaved meal, or am I creating an experience and an ambiance in the home that makes him, feel like, she's been doing some very productive and very thoughtful things with her day at home. And so these are the ambiances. And then we have a Bose loudspeaker, so I will turn on jazz or classical music via Bluetooth, and we will listen to that during dinner. We've been reading a little etiquette booklet with the children. And so these are all experiences because he values family. He values traditions. He values family. He values educating the children. And so to be able to do all of that at the dinner table and recognizing that I hear what's important to him. I hear the things that he wants. Go get Sanaya. The things that he wants to incorporate and include in the home. I hear that, and I make sure that I incorporate that into the day-to-day job. Yes, I think so too. She's really been enjoying setting the table. We've got to get a bit more extensive and add different cups and stuff, but that is her daily routine. She sets the table and the dining table, and helps me set. Sometimes we use the actual linen napkins, and so she will go and choose those and fold them correctly. So it's all about traditions, but to me that is also the art of seduction, because if a man has been working all day with harsh, brash people and women, he wants to come home to a different experience that's filled with femininity and the niceties of lace and linen napkins and scented warm cloths for him to set over his face while he's breathing in lavender and peppermint to lift his spirits. I do too, Tasha. And so these are things that are small touches, and that's still, again, I call that the art of seduction. And it's very important for me, but I wouldn't be able to do any of that if I was hoofing it and working 40 to 50 hour weeks and just in a space where I'm just as stressed as he is when he comes home. And there are so many other ways. I do take time for myself. I will sit very quietly and drink tea from a little glass teacup in the mornings by myself, or it's actually my little collagen blend before I have my coffee and before I take his tea up to him. I will sit to myself and watch maybe one of my etiquette videos and, just really get myself into a space where I make sure that even as a stay-at-home mom, I am giving to myself continuously so that I don't feel depleted. Okay, 5:28, we got 2 minutes. Oh my gosh, you're stressing me a little bit.
Mommy,
we're not going to be late.
But I'm super excited.
Why?
We're going to read another story.
You're going to what?
We're going to read another story.
You're going to read another story?
Yeah, because you said I'm going to read a story.
Oh, yes, he started that as well. Now at night after dinner, he he reads stories with them. He sits in our office couch upstairs.
I feel like your camera kind of makes me look ugly. Like I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my gosh, I look so cute, and I think your camera looks kind of ugly. Like my head looks like egg, especially if I look like this. Look, my head looks like a brown egg.
Okay.
I'm a brown egg.
I think it's the angle. Tiki wants to be seen. Tiki.
Do I look like an egg?
No, you don't, Tiki.
I don't look like an egg.
You look like an egg.
Ugh. Bye, children. Go put your shoes on. All right, ladies. So I'm gonna go. Oh, I'm gonna go and.
Here you go.
Uh-oh. I think somebody's calling me. It's probably my husband. I don't know who that is. Okay, I don't know who that is. Sorry for the interruption, y'all. Somebody's calling me. It's usually my husband at this time. So yes, ladies, that to me is seduction in the home. That's life in the home. That's married life, being married, being full of yourself, full of your space. Are you trying to? Okay, bye. Thank you.
Get out of here.
Hey. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. So let me go because we got ballet in 30 minutes. So I need to get it together and get myself together. Let's head out. Hey, do you have your water bottles? Does she have her water bottle?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Tiki, you got your water? All right, y'all. So I'm going to. This is my new little coat. I do like it.
I do like it.
I don't know if y'all can see.
This is my new little sweatshirt.
Oh, can you hold this tonight so I can just
Yes.
flex for a minute?
Oh, yep. Just flex your new coat.
So I do like to throw this on.
Work
Period.
it.
With a little
Period. Okay.
jean.
With your little skinny jeans and
a
your
little boot,
brown
you
French
know.
coat, just prepared for fall.
Just bring this through. Come through.
Feminine,
I
female.
need to stop.
Oh, remember when we said feminine, female, fall?
Yes.
Feminine,
But don't
female,
make that
fall?
fall. Leave
I
it.
won't.
Thank you. All right, y'all. I gotta go. So
Feminine,
extra over
feminine,
here.
female, fall. It's feminine,
I don't know. What is that whole tongue snacking thing you've been doing?
I don't know. I just do it.
Okay. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.